Welcome again to our channel. In today's video, we are going to show you the top 10 cities with the highest property prices. From a luxury property price, we know most of you have a passion for real estate and would one day love to own properties all around the world. We wanted to give you a heads up on how expensive some of these cities are. We've put together the list of 10 cities with the highest property prices in the world. So, let's get started. Number 10. Singapore. Singapore is the world's third most populous sovereign state after Macau and Monaco. The population is 19,910 per square mile. The living cost in Singapore is the highest in Southeast Asia to live. You need around $3,500 monthly for a typical city apartment. And for the buying rice, it is around $13,750 per square meter to the cost of 120 square meter. Apartment in Singapore is nearly $1.7 million. Number 9. Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo Metropolis is the capital of Japan. It is the center of the countries. Pretty much everything in its metropolitan area is the most populous in the whole world. There are nearly 14 million people living in the metropolis without even adding tourists. Usually a crowded metropolis can be hard to live in. But Tokyo, with all of its technology and hospitality, break that barrier, ranking high up in the Safe City Index, renting a place in the metropolitan area. Tokyo costs you around $4,750 per month, and to buy one it costs $13,800 per square meter, which means you will need $1.65 million to own a 120 square meter apartment here. Number 8. Paris, France. Paris is one of the most populous cities in the world. It combines history and modern area in a way that no other city can do. Many people dream of living or even visiting this beautiful place. Why wouldn't they? The city covers almost everything from history, culture, fashion, cuisine to sports. We have 55,000 inhabitants per square mile. Paris demands a high accommodation cost. $5,500 per month is what you need to pay. Your apartment rent and the buying price for a typical city apartment here is around $14,000 per square meter. So to own a 120 square meter apartment, you need to spend around $1.7 million. Number 7. Vienna, Austria. Vienna is the largest in Austria. Nearly 2 million people live here in the primary city, which means its population density is 11,205 inhabitants per square mile. Here's an interesting fact: Vienna is the second largest German-speaking city in the entire world after Berlin. To work here, to live in this legendary city, you need at least $3,000 to rent a place for a month. And if you were looking to own a place in the city of Vienna, you should know that the buying price is around $14,500 per square meter. So to purchase a 120 square meter apartment, you will need around $1.75 million. Number 6. Geneva, Switzerland. Switzerland, and especially Geneva, the city is only around 6 square mile wide. With nearly 200,000 people living in, the United Nations and Red Cross are headquartered here. It's home to one of the most expensive hotels in the world, and it's one of the top places where billionaires go to hide their money. To rent a decent apartment in the city of Geneva, you need around $5,000 monthly. And to own one, assuming you pop in size, is 120 square meters, you need around $1.85 million. Number 5. Moscow, Russia. Moscow, the most popular city in Russia and 11th in the world. Moscow is well renowned for its architecture, especially its historic buildings. It has the largest forests in an urban area. Living closer to nature is just the healthiest way of life to have. This way of life in Moscow, you need around $5,000 to rent a decent apartment in the city area. With around $16,000 per square meter of buying price and an average apartment size is 120 square meters, you need nearly $2 million to own one. Number 4. New York City, United States. New York goes by so many nicknames, but most people around the world know it as the Big Apple. As a reference, the city's popularity and achievement in horse racing, then in the 1917, the nickname was made popular through an advertisement. So to buy one you need to point to, and to rent one you need $7,250 per them. Number 3. Hong Kong. Hong Kong is on the top 3 of our list of cities. With the highest property price, and on third position we have the sovereign state of China. Hong Kong, with $25,500 per square meter of apartment. Buying price, so if we use 120 square meters as the average apartment size in the city, To live in Hong Kong, you need around $7,000 for monthly rent or $3 million for a purchase. That is a staggering number compared to other cities in Asia billionaires. You also need to compete with over 7 million people who already live in Hong Kong. Today, 17,024 inhabitants per square mile is a pretty high population density. Number 2. London United. London today making its population density to 14,219 inhabitants per square mile. Renting an apartment in London cost you around $11,000 per month. But according to the UK's government data, since the establishment of more affordable homes for Londoners, there are places in central London with only $2,000 of monthly rental costs. Nobody knows where those places are though, with the average size of 120 square meters for a typical city apartment and a staggering $34,500 per square. Number 1. Monaco. $60,000 per square meter and the most expensive city in the world. With the highest property price is my dream city. Monaco, that covers everything you need to know. Monaco is a small area located beyond the hills of France. On the edge of the Mediterranean Sea, it is less than 1 square mile wide and there are no more than 40,000 people living in it. But among those 40,000 people are some of the world's richest. They have no problems of renting apartments in Monaco. And they don't mind with its $60,000 per square meter. Buying price, either one typical 120 square meter decent apartment in Monaco cost over $7 million. So, that was all. Hope you liked the video and see you in the next one.